The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Yes, starting the year off right. Fantastic Forum. Assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case to be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have half of the usual suspects in the building. There it is. He is the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
Is this year over yet?
Is that where we're at for 2024?
I missed. I had a good vacation.
You're like, I need to get back to the vacations phase already. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident darkback detective. It's Oz.
What did I miss? You guys have been on for 4 minutes, right? What did I miss?
Look,
We've been on for a
we've been
minute.
on for... Right. You're right. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you literally came into the intro before I could introduce myself. So you're good.
Right.
Indeed. As for myself, speaking of myself, my name's Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Looking disheveled as usual. I'm like, what is this? Where did that come from? What? Damn it. I'm a fire wardrobe. I'm like, man, help me. Help me look good, wardrobe. Damn it. It's like, it's just you. This is what you look like. Oh. Okay. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which is the Aquaman sequel. We're also going to be talking to you about season 2 of What If. And of course, we'll be talking about whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. So you should make sure that you let us know what that is so that we can chat. You know, we'll tell you how it is. You can do that in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope you're doing well, good sir. Yeah. And with that said, I guess we should have the intern let us know what's going on there.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you, intern. Appreciate you. Gentlemen, it is good to see your faces. Oz, how was your Christmas, man? How's your Christmas and your New Year, your New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Okay. That feels on brand.
It's not like I'm going out and doing stuff.
Say what?
It's not like I'm going out and doing stuff. I'm just kind of here.
Did you not? I mean, you didn't do like any Christmas parties over the course of Christmas time or anything like that? Or
Nah.
you know, they don't have an office. They don't have an office party for the job.
Yeah, but it's, yeah.
It's an HR nightmare over there because it's all dudes.
Well, dudes and their wives.
They're not invited to the party.
I wasn't.
No, they're invited to our party.
Oh man, that's our tax money at work, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a private company.
Okay.
Your electric. That's your electric bill at work.
Okay. Cool.
and so, but okay, so none of that's was worth.
I did slave over a hot camera for you guys. So there's a video that I sent out.
Yeah, that should be up tomorrow.
A little bit of issue because I actually forgot to turn on the microphone. So
Oh,
I had to work with what my cameras got. Like I took bits from one camera and other bits from another camera and kind of like made it into. I think it came out okay.
okay. You didn't do any ADR, huh? Didn't want to like fill it in after the fact. You could have lip synced your own voice.
I thought about it, but that feels fake.
That's fair.
Gonna,
I'm not mad at that.
This is what happened. This is what I did. Deal with it.
In some parts it can work, and others it can't. Like if he's actually talking and holding it, then it won't work unless it has it over his mouth. Like, but if it's like the overhead shot and he could just do that, it's if the building statues part, like he could just do a montage of building the statue while he's reviewing it, and it'll work.
Well, if it had been like really really bad,
you would just
redone it.
No, what I would have done is instead of trying to lip sync, I would have just done a voiceover saying, all right, look, the microphone's off, so I'm just gonna narrate what I'm saying, and then as I'm doing the video, I'll just narrate, okay, so I did this, blah blah blah, do something like that.
Lip syncing's not that hard, like, because you do Premiere, right?
Yeah.
So there is a set, like Premiere can actually, I think, well, I don't know if you have that version, but you can actually like it can tell the words you say and track them to your voice like really closely.
I mean, I might need to find that setting then.
Yeah, because that's one of the big parts of it that's really good. I just do this before I shoot and then sync it if I need to, or but yeah, it's a tricky setting. Like I watched the video of this guy, trying to learn Premiere, and it's like he goes, yeah, if you need syncing issues, just hit this, and it did it like to a millisecond. Like it was off, like when you when you do the waveform, like zoomed in, you can see where it's off, and you can kind of see a little bit, but then you just move it on your own.
Yeah, you just make it its own clip, and then you move it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then there's another one that does like they're incorporating AI into it too, where you can just have a narrator just redo everything.
I've been getting a lot of AI videos on my feeds.
Yeah.
It's starting to get annoying.
So they know I'm coming for them. I watch the creator.
You're coming for the AI, Mo?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let it happen. Like
I'm pretty sure Aquaman was made by AI too.
There's no way that I'm gonna let something called intelligence fuck with the planet right now, as stupid as it is. Yeah.
Got it.
And artificial intelligence might be the only intelligence,
Well, yeah, that's why I can't let them win. Like the stupidity is gonna have to reign in order for us to be safe. Ish.
No, well, listen, that very well may happen. The way things are going, like, good Lord.
If the good Lord intended us to survive, he would have made us smarter.
Are you setting things on fire? What are you setting on fire?
You gotta watch this video.
What? It smells like dead mouse in here.
Like eating concert.
That's an interesting candle scent choice. Dead mouse. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you rock out to it. I can hear it more than smell it.
There it is. Synesthesia. So anyway, Mo, you had a good Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, I had a good time, taking this break from the show for a week and a half or so. I got to find like watch things, and like you guys are talking about Aquaman, but I watched the real Aquaman, which was the Little Mermaid.
The live action.
I got to watch that because Eric's the real Aquaman. He got 2 sea bitches. Like that's. I can already tell you that's better than Aquaman Lost Kingdom. And yeah, I call it Lil Mermaid because that's the racial undertones. LIL.
Because you're a racist.
The movie itself is racist. There's not like one white person in it. And it's like you're talking about like the East Bombay Company in the Caribbean, like during that colonization and trade route time. Those are all white people. There's not like one white person in that movie. Like the only white person is Scuttle, the Wakofina, the seagull.
Wait, why? Why is that the white person?
This is like
Because the
Eminem.
seagull's white.
She sounds like Eminem when she talks. So yeah,
She
she's
sounds
white.
like Eminem. Wow.
I've
What?
been tired of Aquafina for a while now.
I love her. I just don't think she should be Scuttle.
It was weird, but I don't know that didn't work. Now, why doesn't Prince Eric count?
Because he's not white. Like his parents are black and Indian.
Sounds like a very diverse movie.
It's not. There's no white people in it.
Wait, what?
Like I guess Ursula technically is the only white person, and she's yeah.
What?
Yeah. I got to watch that. I hadn't been able to watch it because I'm always too busy to do things. And then I watched the Barbie. Well, got to watch
How
Barbie.
was Barbie?
It was good. It was good. I feel bad for those people that thought it was anti-men. Because
if anything, it's like pro patriarchy. Because aren't
if-
everybody in Barbie Land like happier when Ken?
no, it's anti-women. Barbie is anti-women because all it says is that women are stuck in their own bullshit and they keep going to the same shit because they're dealing with Kens, not men. Otherwise, she'd be fighting He-Man and Skeletor. But no, she's fighting Ken, and the whole point of the movie is that girls play with Barbie and Ken. If it was an anti-man movie, she'd be fighting G.I. Joe or Optimus Prime because the whole point is about these worlds created by kids playing with shit. So yeah, it's really anti-women.
I would like to see the scene where the kid got a hold of the Barbie and the G.I. Joe and they started fighting.
Well, I think that's why they didn't make the move that scene because most people just put them to fuck.
Then there's that, yeah. That World Police movie did that.
Yeah, so it's I feel bad for those people. Like, there's something real wrong with them if they think this is anti-men.
No, if you're talking about like YouTubers, they're making so much money.
I'm talking about like Bill Maher. Like I like Bill Maher, but apparently Bill Maher never played with fucking Starscream. Like you don't know what
I'm
toys
pretty sure
are.
Bill Maher was like 45 when Starscream came out, though, right?
His childhood toy would be a movie about wooden cars.
It's just a wheel.
You have those little tin toys where you push the button and sparks come out.
I love Bill Maher, but he can take the
Those are actually pretty awesome, though.
It's like I wonder what Steamboat Willie's up to today. And then I also watched The Creator, which reassured me that I don't want AI.
Oh, really? How'd you like The Creator?
It was okay. Definitely, that dude should not be Kang. Like if they recast Kang, he wasn't that good in The Creator. The guy we talked about the last show, the John David Washington.
Oh, got you. He wasn't good in that, huh?
No. He's not as versatile as an actor as his dad. Like his dad could be anybody.
Wow.
But he's not. And as I always say to people, like if your dad is excellent in a field, don't go into that field. Do something else. Go podiatrist.
Wait, this is a movie about AI?
About them trying to stop AI after
it's a biopic about a rapper.
No.
What?
Lauren, there's a rapper named Tyler the Creator that does what we call hip hop and rap.
Oh,
and it's a style of music. We'll talk about it later. But his name is Tyler the Creator. And we'll talk about it later. I gotta explain hip hop to.
He's not a rapper. He's a jackass.
Same.
Why is Tyler the Creator a jackass?
Because he was in Loiter Squad.
Yeah. What's wrong with Loiter Squad?
Nothing. I love Loiter Squad. That's his success. Doing all that.
You're saying it's like Jackass.
Yeah, it is Jackass. It's just black
Got
ass.
it.
Yeah.
Black ass.
I mean, I think it definitely has a different tone than Jackass, but I can see why you would make a comparison.
They do the skits too, like they do the cops skits.
Yeah.
But they're attacking a family of inflatable dolls. And it's hilarious. You got to be high.
You have to be high.
And then they do the commercial, because now it's a real thing, but back then it wasn't. Those actual accurate flesh tone Band-Aids. So they did a skit way back in the day about it, and the white guys are wearing the black, the wiggers are wearing the black, the black people Band-Aids.
Oh wow!
And the Asians are just assed out. They just throw a yellow piece of like highlighter color Band-Aid. So good.
All right. So, folks, if you want,
and then I watched the.
Enough. If you want to get down Fantastic Forum, hit us up. You can hit us at fantasticforum.live. The call-in button is how you do it. Or you can go ahead and, of course, hit us in chat. We'll take your comments directly out of chat, bring them into the show. Such as, do we have a witty chat comment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tiger Claw says the Little Mermaid didn't have any Latinas. I was like, no. Are you guys gonna do anything?
Technically,
No.
Bardem counts, right?
Not a Latina. He's a Latinx.
It depends on the day.
Oh, I also discovered Philippines, Larry. It's not just Latinx. There's Philippines.
I don't know what that means.
That's the same as Latinx. It means nothing, but just for Filipinos.
Why do we need something else for Filipinos?
I don't know.
We need something for Latinos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to jump on our take our thunder.
Yeah, but
just because Spanish fucked them over too.
Okay, I thought it was like they were trying to do like the gender thing, but I didn't know.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But it doesn't matter to me.
And Oz, are you going to create something with Steamboat Willie?
Wasn't planning to.
Okay, well, you may have to.
Well, sort of. I was gonna draw a steamboat on my dick and do a video of that, but I can't make the steam effect
or the dick.
I use practical effects.
I guess that's for the OnlyFans.
Well, you just need somebody to blow on it, right?
Oh, whoa! There it is.
I mean, you get one good puff out of it, but
okay. I think we should start.
This is why Jay's not here.
Right, exactly. Jay's like, I do not want to be a
this
part
is
of
what
it.
happens when he's not here. I usually, when I'm going to say something like that, I look up and see his judgmental eyes on me. And then I...
Is that what you would call Jay's eyes? Judgmental?
Yeah, I know he's not really looking at me, but it feels like he's looking at me.
Although he would like your Steamboat Willie iteration because there's nudity.
Yeah, but it'll be painted, so it's like censored.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't like it.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's time for a review. It's like once we start getting to Steamboat penis talk, it does feel like it's about that time. Right?
Willie,
so,
like you call it Willie, Larry?
Yeah, don't be so crass, Lawrence. It's Willie.
That's the euphemism.
Will I is.
Okay, let's start the review.
Okay. Yeah, play the music. Where is that music? Here. Oh no, that's news. Damn it.
We don't have.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Comic book review.
Comic book
like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
I don't know why I thought there would be a video that would not show me doing that.
We haven't made a video. You were supposed to make the video version, like Masterpiece Theater, and then you didn't do it.
I was supposed to,
no? We know you don't do anything other than be awesome in the live broadcast.
Hey, I did the audio.
Barely that.
No, I know, I get it. But, we had talked about it, but then we didn't do it.
And guess what? I found the use for my Steamboat Willie.
Oh no. Anyway. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the sequel, the long-awaited sequel to Aquaman 1.
The long-awaited sequel nobody wanted.
Yeah, so who wants to talk about what happens in this movie? I think it has to be you, Oz, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna do it, Mo?
No. I didn't watch it.
it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Yeah, but I could tell you, like, I assume like they have to top the laser sharks with lasers on them. So I'm sure there's probably some like robotic sharks or armored sharks in this. That's my guess.
No, there are
More like
ships that are like
octopus.
octopuses. Like it's a ship, it's piloted, but it's an octopus too. Does that count?
They got shark motorcycles or something, right?
Yeah, all the vessels look like they're in a giant submarine that looks
Maybe
like
they're dolphin. Yeah, maybe they're dolphin motorcycles.
Yeah, I don't know. None of that should be an Aquaman altogether. I don't think. But what do I know?
Well, Aquaman, the
Yeah.
sequel to the first movie is about Aquaman, and yeah, it sure is about him. So he became king, and this is like, I don't know, a couple years later, something like that. And he's kind of like disillusioned with it because he has to like actually govern. And apparently now there's some kind of like Senate or something that doesn't let him do whatever he wants. So he's not really king. But I think the main focus of this movie is, of course, family. Because it's, the guy that made it also made Fast and Furious movies. So
one Fast and Furious movie.
and
Maybe.
And I mean, you make one, you've made them all.
I think you watched one, you watched them all.
Yeah. And so, Black Manta's back, and he just wants to kill Aquaman and everything, like his whole family, everything. Like he just wants death from all of Aquaman's family. And then he finds the One Ring. A trident, a magical trident that Sauron uses to take over his mind and help him to get his revenge. And to free Sauron, he has to he needs some of the royal family blood. So either Aquaman or his brother or his son, he's got to get it from one of those, and hilarity ensues. And then at some point, because of the Amber Heard controversies, you can see where they cut her out of the movie, because when you're making a movie about family, obviously the mother of your child is going to be a huge deal in it, but they take her out about 20 minutes into it, and then Jason Momoa goes and actually rescues his brother, the real Aquaman, and it becomes a buddy movie of them two trying to figure out what's going on, or like, and then at some point there's global warming caused by the Atlanteans
And then petroleum.
It's not the petroleum. It's like, what do they call it? Orichalcum? Something like
that. I feel like that was in the comic, I think, but
and it's crazy because they talk about how powerful this stuff is, and like they burn it for like 2 days, and the planet's already about to explode. Like everything's just gone to hell on the surface. And so Jason Momoa has to deal with that, and then at some point he wants to reveal that that Atlantis wants to join the UN and share their technology and say, yeah, here we are. The end.
Right.
I'll tell you, this movie does feel like it was made by AI, because there's so many bits and pieces that from other movies in this Like somebody even pointed out that the DCEU basically ends the way the MCU started, with him saying, "I am Aquaman." And
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, everybody also pointed out that doesn't everybody know he's Aquaman?
Like when Batman's looking for him, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's right there," and he's just drinking. Like, yeah, I'm Aquaman.
Well,
Yeah,
he's doing a speech in front, like he's doing a speech as the King of Atlantis.
yeah.
Everybody there knows he's Aquaman. Everybody, like, I'm sure when he's on TV, it says Aquaman, King of Atlantis in the bottom. And for him to say it, it feels like AI just put this together. Like somebody said,
Yeah.
make an Aquaman superhero movie, and it just, yeah, I'm only halfway joking about the One Ring. Like it really does feel like Sauron and the One Ring with that whole thing, and just yeah,
Well, I mean, it's like Excalibur also and Merlin and all that. Like that's kind of what it all is based on anyway.
yeah,
Kinda.
but it's the villain is controlling Black Manta through like
Like-
whoever holds the spear
Uh-huh.
is controlled by the villain. Like it's literally the One Ring.
Or influence, because it's not quite control, right? It's not like he's like
At one point he controls Orem, talks through him and everything. Like he literally says, "Hey, this is way better than that goofy human I was working with earlier."
that's true. That did happen, but
So
that
there
wasn't
is
what was
control.
happening. Yeah. I don't know, man.
It does a lot of stupid things too. Like I said, to free the villain, they need the blood of the royal family, and Black Manta has the baby for like a day and a half. Like he couldn't,
You didn't make him bleed.
no.
Like
If you have what you need, why are you
He was gonna
waiting?
sacrifice the baby or something. Yeah, it was weird.
You don't even need to sacrifice. It only took like a couple of drops, and it did what it did.
Right.
That's lame as hell. No baby.
It does feel like AI. It does, even though I don't think it did. But and it's funny because I remember watching it and I was thinking like, oh, like this is just like it just felt like a string of things happening one after the other, as opposed to like like events where you're like, okay, like you feel like invested and you're like, what's about to happen next? It was just like random things behind each other. It felt like, and like they weren't all bad. It's just that, but it didn't occur to me to think like, okay, AI made this, but it's like, yeah, like when you say it, it's like, yeah, it kind of does feel like that.
Like I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Like I kind of enjoyed watching it, but it is like the most generic superhero movie you will ever see.
It and generic is the perfect word. It felt, and that was the actual word that went through my mind, was like, it feels generic. Like there's nothing about it that's like, even like, they have like the stealth suit thing, and I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like that's like a trope that might need to go away. Like I feel like there's too many like random stealth suits.
Who wore the stealth suit?
Aquaman. Because to free his
Aquaman.
brother, he needed to stealth so he doesn't cause a war with whatever nation was holding him.
Stop an international incident between the
See, and that's how you know he's a bitch. Because fucking Aquaman, like they try to toughen him up by using them using Momoa, and giving more of like the Namor vibe, and it's like, nah, man. Namor came and said, what? First, as a little kid, burned a whole plantation down. Then, as an adult, it's like, I'll drown your whole country if you don't give me what I need. Like, no stealth suit. He's like, I'm only coming to you because if I come for them, I'm gonna flood the planet. So it's like you Wakanda, you did it, so I'm gonna give you the chance to get it back and make it right. Otherwise, I'm gonna drown your entire people. Yeah.
And I think part of it is that it's this Senate or council or whatever they call him. Like the
parliament.
They could take away his power as king. Like they could depose him. or something. I don't know. Like to please them, it's
right.
He has to do this.
Right. That's the word, like, or something, because it's like, they don't. There's not a lot of particulars
Like
in
I
this
remember,
movie. Like
and
stuff just
I haven't.
happens, and everybody's like, oh, okay, that's why that's that way. And it's like, but that doesn't necessarily make sense. Like, is that why? Like, why?
It's been
Why
a
are we all
while
okay
since
with
I've seen the original Aquaman, but I'm pretty sure Ocean Master just said, I'm royal family. I'm the next in line. I'm now the Ocean Master. Like, I don't
that?
think he was
Well,
given.
in fairness, the way, if I remember the first movie right, the way that happens though is, I think it is like literally the council giving him the Ocean Master title, which is like the war captain type deal, because they were gonna
They didn't have a
attack the
king.
surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but it's like a different thing. Like, it's almost like in a wartime, it's almost like, like how even in our country, you can have like certain unilateral powers, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like
because you're like,
the
hey,
war
we're
in Iraq.
right, and it's like it was that kind of deal, and that's why he was like able to do whatever he wanted. They're like, hey, do what you feel is right in order to make us safe, and so that's what he was doing. So it's, but I don't even think that, like, I don't remember that council being a thing. It might have been, and it's just forgettable, but I do remember someone or Atlantean somehow bestowing upon him like the Ocean Master title, and that made it so he could go like wage war. Right.
But
Yeah,
the
but
parts
that
with Momoa and what's dude's name?
Pete Wilson,
Orm.
Yeah, or Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was actually kind of entertaining. Like the way they dealt with each other, and
right.
because Orm like was raised to be king, and
Right.
Aquaman is kind of like fumbling around. So having like even him, being like, as soon as this is over, I'm going back because that's what I don't want Atlantis to be at war, and if
Right.
I'm free, he's sacrificing himself for his people.
Mhm.
Where Momoa is
Right.
just kind of like mad that he can't do whatever he like. He's spending more time in land because he can't do what he wants in Atlantis.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I will say that it was those, like, when they're actually talking about Atlantis and how they, like, like how he handles things versus how, how Aquaman handles things versus how Orm would. I do think that those conversations were interesting. I wasn't a big fan of like the buddy, like, because you called it right, like it did turn into a buddy movie, like in, like, I don't
I
know if
mean,
that's the middle or like the,
it had
and that buddy movie,
it has moments
it's not,
like when they're
it
running
wasn't
and Orm's
bad.
like, I don't know how to run. I don't run on land. Like I'm usually in the water.
Right.
I could have
Yeah,
done without
but
the
that's,
cantina scene. Like we didn't need Boba Fett, not Boba Fett,
oh
Jabba the Hutt.
Jesus. Yeah, like it's just like, but that's what I'm saying, like all of those things happened, and I feel like in a different movie I might have liked them more, but in this movie I was like, this doesn't feel like Aquaman at all. This feels like the Rundown, but like supernatural Rundown, you know what I mean, or something like that, which,
That could be
you
a good.
know,
If you pitch that to somebody, it could be a good idea. you know,
yeah,
but
no,
it's not for
absolutely, like a Rundown with, like, yeah,
the
yeah,
more
and I
action.
was just like, I don't know, man.
I honestly think a lot of those scenes are what they reshot to add time to you have to get rid of Amber Heard scenes.
That's, yeah, and that's probably true. And it's like, I don't know. I probably would have preferred to see what they did with Amber Heard, but maybe not. I don't know.
Like if it would have made it a better
It's
movie, I don't care whose bed she shit in. I want a good superhero movie. Yeah,
amen to
And that's
that.
part of the problem this movie had. If you're a fan of Amber Heard, you're gonna be mad that she got cut so much. If you hate Amber Heard, you're gonna be mad because she's actually in it for like at least half an hour of the movie. Like they don't even want to see her in it.
But my argument is if it makes it a better movie than what you get, because it's like, I don't want Kang to leave. Like I don't want them to have to change the phases. Like this phase in and of itself isn't the greatest. So it's like the one good thing I got to look forward to. I can't because he slapped some chick.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's what
Yes, that is the
fuck,
calculus.
like,
Yes.
I'm talking about calculus. Like, I gave that up in 2nd grade.
But yeah, man. Also too, like Orm as a character, I actually did like, and I think I liked Orm more in this movie than I did the last one. But it's just like I've never been a fan of like the bro Aquaman, and I'm even less of a fan of like bro dad Aquaman, where I'm just like, no,
Well,
I just don't like.
that's why I keep
What
calling
were you
Patrick
gonna say?
Wilson real Aquaman. Like he should have been Aquaman.
He looks like
Yeah,
the
I
new
mean,
52 cover. Like, just in the little
yeah,
thumbnail that we have, he looks like like the cover that they drew, like David Finch and the David Finch cover for New 52. Like, he could have been it.
yeah. No, like there is a scene where he like jumps out of the water, and I was like, damn, that fool looks more like comic book Aquaman than anybody else in this movie. No question on that.
Like, everybody
But
looked like in the first one, Black Manta, like he looks comic accurate and damn near.
mhm.
And yeah, that's
and
I
and
watched.
Black Manta,
I didn't watch the Aquaman movie at all. I didn't watch the second one because I didn't watch the first one. But what I did watch was the Black Manta movie, which was the first 15 minutes of Aquaman. And I'm like, oh, this is tight.
yeah, and honestly, like Black Manta's look in this movie is not bad at all. Like he looks good, and he's souped up power wise. But man, I'll tell you, like not even like as talented as Yahya Abdul Mateen is, like even he can't like save
Well, you
this
can't,
script to me. I was watching him, and I was like, man, like I'm like this, like I'm just saying I know the dude can act, but it don't like if this was the first time I'd ever seen him, I'd be like, that dude is very regular. You
Well, they
know,
don't they don't give him much. I think
mm-mm.
I think he did more. Like he's in he has more screen time in this movie, but less acting time than in the first one. Like I think he had a
100%.
lot more to do in the first one. In this one, he's there, but he's just
Yeah.
kind of like staring half the time.
Yeah. And I honestly think that a good portion of his screen time might actually be like stunt doubles and CG and all that kind of stuff. Heck says, hello, fellow comic book nerds. Hello, Heck. It's good to see you. Happy New Year, Heck. Heck, tell us what you think of Aquaman 2 if you saw it.
he probably didn't see it. But
What was the actual Oh, go ahead.
he's probably like, he says, Happy New Year's, brothers. He probably hasn't seen it, but he'll probably be like, it sucks. Oh, he goes, I ain't
What
seen shit.
what was the actual box office for it? Like, did it? I know I saw somebody call it a bomb, but I don't know. What was like the opening like weekend?
Opening
Because
domestic
it came out the 22nd. Uh-huh.
domestic opening 27.5 million.
Dang.
Ooh, that's rough.
I think it did better overseas, but I don't have like the opening weekend numbers overseas. I have the total.
That's like that was like what the Marvels did, right?
It's less. I think it's less. Worldwide,
That's rough.
as of today, it's at about 259.
Okay. 259 million. I know that joint costs more than that to make.
And part of this is these movies had to come out contractually, right? Like it had to come out, like, because it was, with everything changing with Warner and everything in the DC universe, like they were gonna do other shit. They had, they're just trying to get these out of the way. Like they're not even, because I know they didn't promote it. I thought it was coming out in January. Yeah. And I didn't see, like, everybody I told, they're like, oh man, I didn't even see no bus ads. I didn't see nothing. Like, bus ads are a viable way to promote media and entertainment now, because a lot of people are either driving next to a bus or waiting for a bus.
Right.
Like it's still a viable
absolutely.
advertisement tool.
At least in a major city, yeah.
And everybody that said, like, that was the one thing they said, I haven't seen not one bus ad. Like, I didn't realize how impactful that is, because for me, living in, like, growing up in LA, like the big city, and different parts of LA, West LA, you get huge billboards for every show that's coming out around, like, the fall, before the fall, and at sweeps. And then for your consideration, you get a lot. Like, they think people in the academy live in South Central, the way they promote this shit. And then moving to Long Beach is like, I don't know what the fuck's coming out. Like, the bus ads are only for, like, major movie stuff, not everything that's on TV. And so, like, when they told me in Long Beach, like, I haven't seen any bus ads for it, like, it really struck a chord with me. It's like, I've seen how they can promote things in different cities, even though they're like 20 minutes away from each other, but it's a different demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see Aquaman anywhere. I saw more for Iron Claw. Yeah. But I haven't watched that yet.
By the way, Lawrence, the
Mhm.
Marvel's open to 47 million.
Man,
Wow.
Now,
garbage.
Yeah.
now totals. I'm seeing both movies totals. They're domestically they're about the same. They're about 85. International, Aquaman's got them beat by like 50 million. So worldwide, Aquaman's at 259 and the Marvels is at 206.
Damn. And the
So,
Marvel's
opening
box office
weekend,
run
yeah,
is
Marvel
done.
like opening weekend, the Marvels almost like doubled what Aquaman did.
That's crazy. But I guess people saw it and were like, okay, we're done. Like,
I watched the other shit they did, and part of it's delayed because I don't know for what, but I know they had the reshoot issues. But some of the other promotional stuff came out. Like, I watch Men's Health, the old magazine is now a YouTube channel. So they'll do like whatever the big show is right now, like just how they do the articles about like a person's like home gym or whatever on the magazine for when the movie would come out. They do the videos now. And I was like, oh, okay. So they did a Jason Momoa one, like his home gym, and they call it the Gym and Fridge series. So you see what they have in their fridge and how they work out. And they did his like 6 months ago. So I'm like, man, like this movie was probably supposed to come out originally 6 months ago. Nobody told Men's Health. They're like, hey, hold off till around December. And they're like, or maybe they did, like, hey, fuck you. We got a channel to run here, like.
Right. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. Man, I tell you,
you
man.
guys think that the reshoots is really, because I mean, look, the movie is what it is, whether they promote it or not. The numbers are reflective not on quality but on promotion. At least half of the success monetarily in the opening week would be about marketing over, and then the other half quality, if that. But do you guys feel that it's like these reshoots kind of screwed up the quality of the movie, not the overall take?
It's so hard to say just because, like, they may have, but at the same time, it's like everything, like reshoots alone weren't the problem with this movie, because there's a narrative in here, and the overarching narrative through the movie, to me at least, is not only like very like bland, but then on top of that, it's like even when they try to spice it up, it doesn't get spiced up by anything that special or that even necessarily makes sense. Like, it's just random things happening. Like they had old boy in a prison in the desert with I don't know. Did they say who those group of people were, Oz? Like, I know they kind of did, but
They
like,
call them like the
what?
fisherman tribe or something.
Uh-huh.
But the
Like,
actual like guards that they fight look like undead.
yeah, they kind of look like zombie Chitauri kind of.
They look like the Mummy movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. And then they ride these giant like centipede looking things like horses, like centipede monster things, and I'm just like, where do those even come from? Like, you know, like I mean, because the desert prison is like on Earth, right? And so I'm just like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like I get it, like in Aquaman or in this universe, there's Atlantis and there's a whole bunch of things that live under the sea that people don't even know about, right? Because they're in the depths of the sea. What are these things and where they're living? What desert are they in that no one's seen the centipede horse? You know, I'm just like, I don't know, man. And it's weird because it's just like it's obviously there to be like a scene. You know, like it's like, okay, they need a chase and they want something interesting. And I'm just like, man, like, I don't know, man. Somebody could have done a little bit more work to like be like, okay, let's figure out a way that this makes sense instead of just being like, let's just put this because like that's what it's like, you know, like why not? Because, you know, that's what it feels like to me. Centipede horse. So I'm like, ugh. I don't know. Yeah. Again, if I'd rather see Amber Heard emoting.
Yeah. Oz, what do you think? You think the reshoots fucked this up, or is it just a bad movie from the start?
Both. Like I really would. I agree with Lawrence. I'd like to see what the original script was because I like a good story about
family.
Which is this was a James Wan film too? Like he did the second one also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want the Wan cut.
Yeah, I
The
want
Wan
the
cut. We'll give us the Wan.
and a lot of the edited stuff, like you can kind of see that. Like I said earlier, you see where they cut her out, and I think a lot of what they put in was filler. But I refuse to believe that 70% of this movie was added. So I feel
Right.
like some aspects of this, like some of that stuff was supposed to happen either way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'd love to see the wand cut, or at least kind of like have them put out what the original script was before the reshoots, and see how that story played out. It's the DCEU just went out with like a whimper, really.
100. Caller, hacked. Tell the people where you're calling from and what you want to talk about, my friend.
I'm calling from the wondrous world of Tucson.
Woo.
I want to talk about, hey, I got that Batman reissue where Jason Todd lives for Christmas.
Ooh.
It's
Go ahead.
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah. It's not worth it.
Why is it not worth it, Heck?
I thought it would be more new stuff than what it was.
Well, look, we'll get to that real quick. Let's give it a rating for Aquaman, and then we'll cut into this.
Yeah, we can do that. Like, heck, you didn't see Aquaman, right?
No, but I'll give it a 2.
Give it a 2. There it is. There it is. I will say real quick that the end 2 of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was generic, but I felt like when I say the end, I'm literally talking about maybe not the last 5 minutes because they have like all that pomp and like that falling, well, you know, the stuff that Oz mentioned about,
you know, like Aura meeting a cockroach,
Atlantis and all that stuff. But like, or I guess technically it might be the climax. Like there's the interesting thing they did. I personally felt with the final fight between Aquaman and Black Manta, that I was like, this is kind of interesting. It's quick. And, you know, there's going to be some people that are like, it's too CG heavy. And they might not be wrong. but that was probably like, at least for me, I was like, this is probably the most interesting thing that I've seen in this movie so far. Where I was like, okay, like the way they were doing like some of the camera work and all this kind of stuff. And again, it's like I'm pretty sure it was all virtual, but it's like I was like, this is interesting. So I just wanted to say like that was a positive potentially.
What did you think of the CG on the villain?
I mean, I honestly I thought it was definitely I think all the CG was the worst CG I've seen for DC in a long time.
That villain looked to me like World of Warcraft, like when it came out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some Lich King. Yeah,
like Lich King from way back then. Like that did not look
absolutely 100%. Well, and then they did the whole thing with the trident, and and I just like all that just feels like it felt very.
I just had to mention it because I talk
unnecessary
about Marvel's CG a lot,
Yeah.
so I want to point out that DC didn't do it good either.
And the thing is, DC's CG is usually really good. You know what I'm saying?
Atlantis looks great. It looks beautiful. I'd love to have that as a screensaver. That villain looks horrible.
Well, that's the part they didn't use AI for. They actually use people.
Wait,
you
people don't do it good?
Like I've seen student projects look better than that.
I remember a student film named the Jaguar and the Dragon.
No, there's not a lot of CGI in there.
He said, "Oh,
Lawrence hasn't seen it.
I know."
Yeah, I think I've heard of it, but anyway. Moses, what would you rate?
I cut.
Nice. What would you rate it, Mo? Even though you didn't see
it. I did watch a little bit of the I just a scene where there was armored sharks or dolphins, and I was like, oh, of course they have to up the ante from the laser sharks. So your review of it, I'll give a 4 because it's fairly accurate. It's I had no expectations of Aquaman. I didn't watch the first one. I'm not watching the second one. I'm refusing to watch things that are going to aggravate me. So I didn't watch Shazam or Shazam 2, and yeah.
I still haven't seen Shazam 2 either.
Yeah.
I never saw Aquaman either.
Why do you guys hate movies about
family?
Well, I have enough family in real life. I don't need movies about it.
There it is.
The DC cinematic universe is basically like the dark multiverse, and it's all crumbling, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, but look, the MCU is kind of like that right now too. So.
Well, I mean, they made their choices.
Yeah.
Oz, what would you rate Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?
I'm probably gonna go with 3 if you stream it and already have, like, if you already have the service and you're not going to spend extra money, you got 2 hours to kill. Sure, it's generic enough that it's fun, but I wouldn't recommend spending money on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. Like I can't recommend it. I'm like, dude, I don't honestly. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst movie. Comic book movie you're gonna ever see, but that might make it like even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even care, you come away from it like, oh my god, it was so terrible. Let me tell you, it's just really, really bland. And so it's just like, I don't know. I would just be like, don't do it unless you like. Just don't do it, because there's no unless. I don't even have an unless.
It's not The Room of DC.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So let's talk, Heck, about your Christmas gift.
Oh man.
So you thought there'd be more to it, and
I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, what were you expecting it to be? That was exactly what I was gonna ask you, and you were gonna go right into it. So, yeah, what were you expecting?
I thought it would have like different. I knew, like, I know, if people don't know about like the death in the family with Jason Todd and everything, the chapters of it are made in a deliberate way so that when they did the vote, they could just push in whatever the result was, which I get. But I thought there would be like a few more panels that would be different, or a little more difference, especially like to put it out in 2023, have a little bit of hoopla around it, and charge insane prices for a facsimile, and it not be any different other than like 3 pages, maybe 3 pages. I think it's only like 1 page really that's different.
Now, what is this book? Is this the book that would have came out if the vote was different?
Went the other way.
Can you repeat that?
What is this book? Is it a book is it the book that would have came out if the vote went the other way?
Yeah, it's a result book. It's a he's dead book. Like, this is the first book I got when I was like 5, because my dad was telling me, hey, they killed Robin, we got to go. So we went to a newsstand downtown and I got this book.
Man, my dad wouldn't even know who Robin is today.
My dad was a comic book nerd, dude. He got me into this shit.
I didn't know if my dad would have known too, but he just
wouldn't have told you.
He just wasn't there. He kept
my dad.
Oddly enough, he's right here.
Oh no!
You should put a Robin mask on him.
Oh no!
Got to dust off. I still haven't bought an urn for him.
Are you sure that's dust?
He might be trying to crawl out at night. Yeah, he definitely wasn't one for sticking in one place. Say what's up.
On blast. On blast on 4K live internet TV.
Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, I'll just set him down on the floor now.
Oh Jesus, on the floor.
Never him back on the shelf where he was.
Oh, no. All my chocolates and liquor fell over. So.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus. No.
Oh man.
Hey.
But yeah. So how can it? But I don't understand. Like, is it literally only the issue that he died in, and that's it? That they
It's literally the facsimile of the issue that would have come out had Jason Todd survived the explosion.
Oh,
because there, if you look at the whole series, it was four comic books. This is the 3rd comic book. So after the first 2, it was they had the vote. Oh, does he live from the explosion? Does he live through that ass whooping that Joker gave him? You can vote. You decide. And he didn't. But this is what would have came out had he lived, and it's literally 2 pages tops that are different. They switched a bunch of text between 4 pages, give or take, but it's literally 2 pages that are different. And it's the same too, like that they've shown that they put in a different trade paperback, I think, or a deluxe paperback, where he's holding him. He's alive! Oh my god! And it's like smiley Batman, that he's happy that he's alive.
I feel like we've seen those pages before.
Yeah, everybody's seen those pages. The only difference is they never saw them in a comic book.
Yeah, this is actually put together as a comic.
This is exact. It's the same exact way. Like all the ads, it looks exactly the same like the original comic, except for those 2 pages where he's living.
So, it doesn't even have. Does it have the 4th book? And is that also
no? They didn't release the 4th book. They didn't release any of the other books except this one. That's why it has a special title like Batman. Robin Lives, and then it has the number of the comic that it would have been, and It has all the ads and everything like it would have been. The only difference is that 2 pages.
I feel like the fourth book should be different if Robin lived.
It's not, because, and I was thinking about that too, but thinking back without even looking at the trade, because the trade is how I read the whole thing. The fourth book is literally Batman, and I'm gonna spoil a 30-year-old story right now.
40.
Spoilers.
40-year-old book, because I'm not 40 completely.
It's like 35, right?
Yeah, 35 roughly.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman go into the UN because they know Joker's gonna pull some shit, saving all the people at the UN and getting Joker arrested. That's what the fourth book is. But it literally has nothing to do with Robin in that last book. Because it's all reactionary.
Either way, then.
What's that?
So they're ready for back then. They were ready for whatever the outcome was.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to be, right? It's comics. It's like it takes
it was all set. It was all ready.
Well,
all they needed was that result.
They were like, faxing art to each other.
Yeah, right. It wasn't even digital back then. It's like
faxing
art.
It could have been like just FedExing. Yeah.
I always thought there was like 2 different, like however the vote went, there was one finale for he lived and one finale for he died.
Yeah, it's that 1 page, literally one page.
It's what I believed up until this point, but I guess the only difference is the last page.
Yeah, because the fourth book, if you can find the fourth book in your press or release stuff, it has no bearing. The result of him dying, living, whatever, has no bearing on that last book. The last book is all reaction to Joker and him becoming a UN, Iran ambassador. Because that's what he does.
He was the ambassador for Iran.
yeah, that's what happens.
Right.
It's a wild story when you read the whole thing.
It's so funny because I feel like they wouldn't write a comic like that now.
Well, now that's reality.
I'm just saying the sensitivities, they would be like, oh, we can't use the real country. They're going to be mad. But you're right.
But then my issue gets widened because I was gifted the foil cover. And I'm like, this is so nice. I can't read this. I'm going to bend it. I need to go get the regular one. So I went to the comic shop last week and I found a regular one and realized they have a shit ton of foil covers. Why? Like, I've been out of the loop for a long time.
Yeah.
What's up with the foil covers?
I don't know, but
you're asking like, why do they have foil covers? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe because nobody wanted the book.
No, well, why they still have them is that, but why they make them in the first place, that many, is just because this is I'm bringing you into the insight back when I used to sell comics, and if you watch our LA Comic Con videos, you see I took my nephew bought a bunch of comics that he's never read. He just liked the cover. And they were foil covers. And one of the first, when I was learning how to sell comics to the people, I learned from a dude older than me because dude's been doing it. At that point, I was 16. I had been doing it for a year. My brother and I had been doing it for a year. This dude, Randy, Larry, you know Randy from Randy's Comics. And he goes, all this shit you see in the quarter box with those Spider-Man, remember they did the red and the green for Spectacular and black for Amazing. The little hologram. Yeah. He said he grabbed it for the quarter. He goes, kids see that shit. And then he put a price tag. Boom, $10. Kids see that shit. They'll take that shit. And that is still true to this day. My nephew did it. He fell for that. And he paid $25. But but he paid $25 for a foil cover of a book he did. He just liked the cover art. And it was that Spider Dino Spider, Edge of Spider-Verse. And he got it signed by Dan Slott, so it worked. But it's still, But he felt, he's like, kids see that shit. That boom, $10.
That makes sense.
And that was you, man.
No, that was my friend that got it for me.
Yeah, your friend that got it for you is like, X sees this shit. Yeah, it's like it's gonna.
I was happy that I had it, and then I was like, I can't read this. This is pretty. I can't mess this up.
So you could literally buy another.
Yeah, so you bought another one.
Yeah, so
you can
fuck
read.
me.
They got your money twice for that extra page.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? And until I read it, I was fine. And then I read it, and I'm like, fuck. Well,
I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. Don't read comic books. Just look at it.
I'm gonna give everything Tiger Claw. That's what's gonna happen.
Everybody's next Christmas. Tiger Claw is gonna be busy going through all his packages.
So, and while I was there, I was looking. They had a facsimile for some Wonder Woman comic, All-Star, like an old one.
Oh yeah,
there was literally like 5 foil covers for that one, just sitting there, waiting to be bought.
I
actually
bought
myself,
of the same. Yeah,
I actually bought myself one of those. Not the foil, but the yellow cover for. So it's like a blank sketch cover, but it's yellow.
Oh, nice!
And it's Wonder Woman #1, a reprint of Wonder Woman #1. So I'm gonna have somebody probably do a Gal Gadot portrait or something.
Where they did get me though was I saw a reprint facsimile of a Wolverine one.
Oh yeah,
that one cover, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember that shit. I need to get that shit.
I would do that shit.
I feel like they do that like every 5 years.
And they had like 5 foil covers for that one too. And I'm like, let me find the regular one.
Well, I showed Larry. Oh man, that was pre-production. I didn't realize it was pre-production at the time. That I had been driving around for like 6 months in my car with the first appearance of Cable in my trunk. Yeah, and I showed him the picture today because I had to take a picture. It'll be in our Instagram tomorrow. Follow us at Fantastic Forum on Instagram if you want to see that. But because it's Throwback Thursday, then yeah. But it's like so I was like that. He's like, I was driving around. I just had the first appearance. I had a box when I moved, and I was too lazy to unload the box, and I just left it in my truck because it's one of the short comic boxes. And then after like a weird turn, it flipped over, and then when I went to check, I'm like, oh, that was that flipped over. Let me make sure everything's still intact because while it is still in my car, I don't want it to get fucked up. And the shit was sticking out. It was the first appearance of Cable.
Damn.
New Mutants like 82 or some shit.
7, I think.
Let's see here. I have it here. Maybe I could show it to you guys before I post it.
What I did see at the comic shop, and I didn't understand why they even made them a facsimile. Omega Men, I think the first appearance of Lobo.
Yeah.
I was like, who's clamoring for this?
People like Lobo.
I like Lobo too, but I don't want that Lobo.
As he starts coming out, you'll start seeing. You're gonna see more of it. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, that's cool though. Oh, you got to focus. There it is.
Oh, shit.
It's too bright. The exposure is all lost.
Thank you.
Now it's Fantastic Forum lore.
Yeah,
almost got fucked up.
So that's cool though that you got comics for Christmas though. Heck.
Yeah. I dug it. I was into it, and I got pops. So I'm happy.
Hey, there's a Mo deal since a little popcast here with me and Heck.
Oh shit, popcast.
The 99-cent store has the Yara Flor original, like from her original Future State pops. So if you want those, they look pretty cool. I'll buy like 6 of them. They're for like $2.99 because 99-cent store is 99-cent store plus now. So they're like $3.
Yeah.
The original Yara Flor, and look, this new DC, those might go up because they already liquidated them. So they might be a hot ticket to buy if you buy them up now and make sure nobody else can get them.
Oh, and they made her white.
Yeah.
They made her white?
It's a very light skinned pop for Yara Flor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I got a. Who did I get? So I got Green Ranger, the 30th anniversary of Power Ranger Green Ranger, where he's holding the dragon dagger like a flute. And then two people got me the Vader from wrestling.
Oh, nice.
So I had to get one returned, and I ended up getting a British Bulldog.
Ooh,
that's very cool.
With the dog?
He didn't
No,
come with...
they didn't package him with a dog.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be
it's
cool.
very 90s Bulldog.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got one more, and I don't remember who.
That's what I'm gonna be for Halloween this year.
British Bulldog?
Yeah, because I got the dog with me.
Hell yeah.
You do have the dog. That's true. That Yara floor pop is light. That's crazy.
But it looks
like don't get. It doesn't look bad. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's just funny because she's like, she's brown in the comic, and it's just like they're like, okay, not that brown. I know, like, but not that brown. It's okay. It's all right.
Well, they also lighten up like black people look a lot lighter. They don't make them too dark in pops. Also.
In pops?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if they did a pop for you, Larry, you would look more like Anthony Anderson.
Like, oh, that makes me sad.
Well, the eyes have to show, Larry.
Not just saying. I don't know. It's weird because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I was like, man, is that true? And I was like thinking about my collection. Like, I don't have a whole bunch of pops, but I have a fair amount. And I'm like,
and more black people.
What do my black pops look like? And I'm like, I don't know that I own any black pops.
I could have told you that. I know you don't.
I feel like the closest I come is maybe like Princess Allura from Voltron Legendary Defender.
You don't have Storm?
I don't have a Storm pop.
Wow.
And he doesn't have a Falcon or like Captain Falcon. Because if you look at Captain Falcon, he's very light too. Like that dude's not that light.
I got two. I got Morpheus.
Captain Falcon. He's Captain America.
No, but for these purposes.
I got Morpheus from that fourth Matrix and Black Adam, The Rock.
They look the same
do they make Rock lighter too, or no?
A little bit.
Oh wow, interesting. But no, I don't have. Say what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What did this fool say? Listen, all the X-Men pops I have are like first class pops. Like I did that
right, and they were all white because.
Yeah. Well, no, not because I just. It's like one of those things where it's like
the second class. The back of the back.
No, there's first class and then lower class. So
no, wow, no.
The ones that fill the front of the bus.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, I just it's like one of those things where obviously because I'm a huge X-Men fan, I'm like I know me, and I made the intentional decision to get first class only because I'm like I can't just get like whatever X-Men I like because
you have to discriminate.
I'll just be buying pops. Like there's too many X-Men, and so I'm just like every time they release a new one. Wait, what?
So you have to discriminate.
It's not this guy. I decided to do the original X-Men. That's all. That's it.
Right.
Don't you have two that are exactly the same right behind you? Like right next to Cyclops. There's two that look. There's two next to Cyclops that look exactly the same.
Well, no, what it is it's Beast and it's Angel, or it's Beast and it's Iceman, maybe. Oh no, that's Jean Grey, I think. So yeah, so Angel is the far one.
Right now, it looks like three are exactly the same.
Well, because
the costume is similar. Like the uniforms are literally the same uniform, but that's Jean Grey in between Cyclops and Beast. So
this is this
you
is where I
know.
gotta tell Oz. This is where Oz, I know Oz wants to fuck with you, but this is where I gotta tell him to you know because when they promoted the new X-Men, they said in the style of a new superhero team in a style of the Fantastic Four, where they had the same costume, so they all look the same when they're not powered up.
Hey, my X-Men are the Jim Lee X-Men.
Right. Great. Good.
Yeah, I mean, we
Good for
all
you.
love Jim Lee X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just
Again,
there
weren't many
but that
black
is
X-Men
literally
there
As well it should be.
oh man, like y'all go mess around and make me
Like,
just go buy some
the
stores.
blackest
some
dude
cheap
there
shit now.
was
Like, God damn it.
the blackest dude there was Omega Red.
Damn. Damn.
Omega Red. That fool is like not even like regular white. This fool's like actual color white.
But he's got that dangle.
That dangle.
I feel
Right,
like we
those
gotta
are
buy Lauren some black pops.
No, he's gonna throw him out just like he did the Sugar Man.
Look, just get Lawrence Michael Jackson.
Why Michael Jackson?
Look, the only black pop that Larry would accept is Ted Danson.
Oh no! See, that's a really like random reference, but that's hilarious. Like that's for our older crowd, right? That's
you have to paint it before you give it to him.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna give him a black one. I have a plain one that you have to create your own. I'm gonna do Al Jolson for Larry.
Wow.
Get me a Whoopi that's defending him too, though. If you do that,
Yeah.
Whoopi.
Oh, Whoopi. Does Whoopi have a pop? I don't think she does.
Dude, how sad would that be if that's the case?
No, she doesn't.
No,
I don't think
Goldberg
she does. Like, I don't see what franchise or what part like she would do. Like, because they don't have a sister act set.
Star Trek.
That's the only one I can think
I
of.
don't
But
think
they
they
don't
went
even
that deep.
Pops don't do Star Trek like that.
I don't think they went that deep.
Oh, they've gone pretty. They've had the most obscure stuff and
That's what
pops.
I'm
They
saying.
go to.
Right, but no, but for Star Trek in particular, I don't think they can go that deep. Like, I don't think they have full.
It's weird that
access.
we got every Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but not Guinan.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's just what they allow them to do. Like you can't just use whatever. Yeah, because it's all licensing. So it's like if we're gonna spend money on licensing for the character, like they could probably license out the franchise all at a depending on what the franchise is. But I think Star Trek might be too expensive to just have a free reign for every character, because I mean they could do just a random red shirt where you could draw them like yourself, like everything is blank except the costume, the uniform.
It's just weird that it's like it feels like Whoopi Goldberg, like they don't have like Ghost pops like from the movie Ghost.
I don't.
No,
think so.
they don't have that. Yeah,
because some of the agreements are weird. Why are all the Marvels bobbleheads?
That's the Disney thing. So it's
that was before.
No, it wasn't before because Star Wars is the same, but it was like Marvel, but it became Disney, I guess, after.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars is bobblehead. Like I can't gift my nieces bobbleheads that are Disney because their bobbleheads too dangerous. Like there's too many moving parts. True. I could give them a regular like something else that they don't know, but because that's not a bobblehead, so they can't break it.
Like, rip their head off and eat the springs or something. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's
they're part Asian, so they'll eat anything.
What? What are you? What?
Yeah,
that's the calculus.
This is the first episode of the new year, right, or the second?
Yeah,
it is.
The first one.
No, it's only January 3rd.
Great start. Yeah. Is it? Fuck, I don't know, man.
Heck is our first caller.
Between work and other things.
Caller on the first news show of the new year. So
nice.
But yeah. Speaking of which, we should go ahead and jump into our review of What If season 2. Heck, did you watch What If at all?
I haven't seen shit.
That you like staying consistent. I'm not mad at you, Hank.
I'm trying. The closest thing I'm keeping up with is wrestling. That's about it.
How are you liking wrestling right now?
It's good, all around. Very good.
Heck, what happened to that
I've
guy whose
heard
arm
a
turned into
lot
a
of good
snake?
things lately.
Who?
Wait, what?
What happened to that guy whose arm turned into a snake?
He got hurt, retired, came back to TNA, became an authority figure, but couldn't wrestle. And I think he's still there. And I know he had a school, like legit had a wrestling school, and his daughter, I think, is training in NXT.
Like I've seen a lot of clips of that dude. He's hilarious.
Yeah, that dude's great. But
What
yeah,
is
he
it,
got hurt.
San Martino or something like that.
Yeah, San Martino.
So
You guys
when
gotta
you say,
look up this guy.
What's that?
He puts
when
on
you
a
say
sock
he's back,
that makes his hand look like a snake. Like he's wearing a hand sock, and he
It's
does
a
like a thing
cobra.
where like it's a cobra, and he
Yeah.
does cobra strike with it. And there's like there's one match, it was like a tag match, where one of the opponents pulls out a flute and he starts playing the flute, and it's like influencing his hand.
Yeah.
And then his partner takes out a flute, and they're like dueling, and he doesn't know like what to do with it. Dude, this guy is hilarious. There's
that does sound
my favorite scene though is when he thought he was gonna win the Royal Rumble. Like he hits his move. It's just him and the last guy. He hits his move, and he just starts like playing the trumpet, like he's celebrating. Like that guy's great.
Yeah.
I wish he was still
But when you
wrestling.
say he got hurt and came back and couldn't wrestle, you mean like he couldn't wrestle because of his injury?
He got hurt.
Or
Yeah. Like his neck got fucked up. I don't remember the specifics, but
Okay.
basically like he couldn't wrestle. Couldn't wrestle anymore.
that sucks.
R.I.P. Razor Ramon.
R.I.P.
So okay, heck, you want to stick around for what if talk, or you gonna dip
Yeah,
out?
man. I'll stick
Okay.
around.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do this.
Also,
No, it's more about gel coat.
When the fourth round would...
Don't you call it?
does it look good already? Jumbo Scampi for limited.
All right. What if season 2, 9 episodes? Can we start though by talking about the way they release these episodes, and you all give me some opinions on what you thought about it, because what they did basically was release one episode a day for 9 days in a row, right here at Christmas time, and so every
do that for
day
Hanukkah?
there was one there waiting for you. Say again.
Like that, that should have been for Hanukkah. Like they didn't have to wait till Christmas
I
for
mean,
that.
It's all the same time, isn't it? Isn't it like
No, Hanukkah was earlier, like 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah, but they actually have a
Oh.
Christmas episode.
So they could end Hanukkah on Christmas. Like that's kind of
Okay.
how it ended
Okay.
in real life. Like
was how
so, yeah.
Hanukkah
I
ended
didn't
in
know they
real
were. Long story short, Larry, I didn't know they released it like that because I just watched it today for the first time. Cause I didn't try watching it because I didn't watch the first season. Like I didn't finish it. So, yeah. So to me, they were all released at once, which is good because I'm like, I don't like this, but I can keep watching it.
Did you watch all of them?
No. I watched the first two, the Christmas episode, and then the Native American characters episode.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna skip
Oz,
over
did you-
Christmas, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. So, Oz, did you watch them as they released, or did you watch them all in a batch too?
Both. Like I didn't watch them when they were released. I started watching them a few days ago, one episode a day,
Okay.
and I'm up to. I just watched the Captain Carter episode, that ends with
The Captain
1602.
Carter. Got it. Okay.
Where she,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
But I'm
yeah.
watching them in
Okay.
order
I think,
because it sounds like Mo skipped around because I haven't seen the Native
yeah,
American one.
Mo definitely skipped around, and yeah, but you're watching order right. So you saw what if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And heck, you didn't get to. You haven't seen any of them. Heck, did you watch season 1 of What If?
Not at all. I
Oh,
can't afford
okay.
Disney Plus, man.
Hey, you know what? That
Yeah,
is
there you go.
fair.
That's it. I ain't seen shit.
Look, I'm glad that Heck chimed in there.
That's
Like,
the
it's like, there it is.
Heck, Mo deal for you. I think if you do like Verizon or upgrade your plan a little, you don't even have to upgrade. Just switch to a new plan. I think they'll just give it to you.
That's how I have it. I have Verizon, so I have Disney Plus,
I'm on
Hulu,
T-Mobile.
and ESPN.
You're on what?
I'm on T-Mobile on a family plan.
So they give you something similar. Like you got to do T-Mobile Tuesdays, and so they'll give you like little. They'll just give you like 3 months of it on a Tuesday randomly. You just got to download the T-Mobile Tuesday app, and even if you're in a family plan, your number it's you with your number and your email address attached to your number, so you could just log in and they'll give you free shit at the supermarket sometimes.
Oh,
you get Little Caesars and stuff.
Yeah. That's how I got the Batman. Like that's why I'm like, oh, they have Batman pizza for free on T-Mobile Tuesday. Like I'm gonna have it on a Wednesday. Yeah.
That shit looked so goofy when I seen it.
Yeah, but it was delicious.
It was actually good.
You know what Little Caesar has really good? If you get the stuffed crust, that shit's good.
Well, yeah. They got good stuff. I'm not gonna if I'm gonna eat fast food on a value menu, like I'm going Little Caesar.
Hell yeah.
For the price, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm not getting a good mom and pop pizza place, like I'm going Little Caesar.
Right.
Fuck Domino's. Fuck
that.
Pizza Hut.
Damn.
I
won't knock Domino's, but hey, that shit's pricey.
I like going to mom and pop's places, but $30 for a pizza that Little Caesars give me for like $5.99 is kind of.
Well, that's the thing is if it's worth like the one. I say mom and pop pizza place. There's one pizza place I go and I'll give them the free commercial. Pizza times 2 on 7th Street in Long Beach. That's it. Anywhere, that's it. Any other place in Long Beach, I don't give a fuck about. I've had Big E, I've had Porky's, I've had all pizza times 2, 7th Street. They got good dough, good sauce, good cheese, and everything else they put on it. You can put whatever the fuck you want. It just makes it better. So you can never go wrong with that place. And it ain't fucking $30. Like you're out of there. You got 2 pizzas out of there at $22.
That sounds good.
Yeah, there you go.
Pizza times 2. Pizza times 2. Yeah.
That sounds like a Mo deal.
Yeah. Hey, look.
What if?
The last Tuesday of every month, you get a regular pizza, like a small pizza with 1 topping for $3. Customer Appreciation Tuesdays. Last Tuesday of every month.
It's the last Tuesday.
Let's get back to
spoil.
And they have a really good prosciutto like sandwich. Sorry, Larry.
I don't know what that word is.
Prosciutto. Yeah, but anyway, back to What If. So Mo, it sounds as though, what you saw, you weren't feeling that much. Well, give me your take on what you did see. Like, I mean, you started with the first joint with What If Nebula joined the Nova Corps.
Yeah, that was like it was okay. Like there's a chance to give me a good Nova Corps. And they kind of go with like the oath and everything, so it's okay, you're getting there, but you're still giving me the same shit. And I'm like, all right. And then Nebula, like I like Nebula, I like her more as a snap card than anything, but but she's a cool character in the movie. She's good. Like her arc in the MCU has been pretty good. In this show, it's like I didn't give a fuck about it, and then she basically recreates the Starjammers, and It's like you got Howard the Duck in it. It's like, what do you need Howard the Duck in here for? Like, I don't know what MCU's been doing with Howard the Duck, I guess, but it ain't what it is in the fucking comics. The comics are basically existentialism leading to nihilism, and that's why I loved them as a little boy. And he doesn't have any kind of that attitude in the MCU, so I'm like, fuck it,
Right.
So I don't want to see him. I didn't even like the voice, and I guess it was still Seth Green from everything. Yeah, I didn't like the voice. The Chip and the other dude, the rock guy, like, was kind of funny. Yeah, Cork. Yeah, like that's kind of cool. But again, like, why can't this fucker just be yellow? Like, why is he blue? Like, that's been my gripe since he ever came out. And it's like, in a what if universe, like, make him blue. Like, this is your chance to kind of make it like the comics. Like, you explore what you did do in the MCU, and instead it's just expanding upon the shit they did for the shit I don't like. So it was the first 2 episodes were very Guardians heavy, and it's like, this is the part of the MCU I don't,
Like, did they use the same actress?
It seems like they did. Yeah, I didn't check that.
Even Waititi was back as Korg.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and here's the thing: her voiceover as narration was like, so, like, I know she's playing Nebula, but fuck, at least for the fucking, like, have a humanity just be in your narration, like that shit was like, I knew that if I'm going to need this, I need to go back to the person that can do it, and it has to be risky. And then she's breaking into prison to break a guy out. It's like, if you're breaking into prison, I don't care if you're a fucking cyborg. It's like, oh fuck, I gotta break this motherfucker out. Like, even if you're saying that as your inner, she still has some little bit of humanity in there. That's the whole point. She acts the way she does in the MCU, So at least have that little bit of humanity be in the fucking narration. That episode was boring through her whole fucking narration, and so on top of it being, and then you have episode 2, which is Ego, and it's like, it's called What If Peter Quill attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It ain't Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That they assembled. I'm a big Black Goliath fan. Still ain't Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was Hope, and not in the DC sense where it means an S, like it's an actual person, but the way this played out. And so it's like, it's really, what if Yondu was a dick about the whole thing with Ego? But really, I wanted to see, what if they do Ego right? Like, what if Ego was good? Like, they did Ego good, What if they did the Celestials right? Like, that's the what if I want to see.
What if it's comic accurate?
Like, it don't even have to be comic accurate. It's just literally, just don't be the crap. Like, they're extensions of, like, these 2 are extensions of movies I didn't like. So it's like, you give me 2 episodes of this, how you want me to stick around? And now imagine if I would have seen it with the delivery system of 1, and then I gotta come back. Okay, I gotta wait a day for the next one, and they give me that.
What if Mo stuck around?
Yeah, like, what? Look, there's your what if right there. If they did that, I'd be out of here. I'd watch the first episode and the last, and then tell you everything. I ain't got time for this bullshit. And realistically, they're doing this like, these what ifs. They're the what ifs for the movie cinematic universe. I get it, but they're not following. They're not following like the comics did it. Like, the comics, and we talked about the what if comics. Like, we talked about Hex birthday present, or Christmas, Jesus' birthday present, but Hex Christmas present, where he got, like, what, that's essentially a what if. Like, what if Jason Todd, like, if DC had the wherewithal that Marvel did, it'd be what if Jason Todd survived, and then they would have a whole other, that what if issue would have a whole other universe. That issue 4 would be different, because that's how the what if works for Marvel. And I wanted to say that then, but I saved it for this. And here it is. It's like, this is what if, but it's what if based on the movie universes, and that's already like, you're giving me shit that I don't like from movies I don't like, And then the What If with Hulk Hogan, like the Christmas one.
Happy Hogan.
No, well, they call him Hulk Hogan there, and I was pissed because I was like, babe, look,
Hulk
his
Hogan.
name is Hogan, and he's hulking out. He's technically Hulk Hogan, and then they actually call him Hulk Hogan, you know. So I was pissed because I'm like, fuck, I wanted to be the one to say that on the show, but they said it on that show. Fucking bastard.
Marvel used to own the copyright to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Yep.
but,
Used to.
So then that one, like, I was good. I got bored with that one, until Mew Mew started talking. I'm like, maybe I'll stick around, but they didn't show no cleavage, and I was like, all right. And then then the rest of it played out like every cliched Christmas movie that people like Die Hard, and I'm
Right,
like,
that's exactly what it was. That's
yeah,
what
and I'm
that's
like,
what I enjoyed about these episodes is that each one was like based in a classic movie that I love. Like the Nebula one was the Harrison Ford movie that suddenly the name just fell out of my brain. Blade Runner. Yeah. So like to me, I saw that as a Blade Runner episode, and it made the narration make a lot more sense. Because that's how dude narrated that movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Mad Max
episode. Homage.
That Christmas episode was the Die Hard episode. Like each episode is themed. So that made me.
I'm out now. Now I'm really out. I'm not watching any more of these.
Why?
Because like I'm looking for comics and superhero shit to be what they are, not homaging other shit. Like
it's the watcher watching movies.
Yeah, again, even the MCU watcher sucks. Like, because I'm like, maybe I should finish watching. Like, what if the Watcher stopped being the Watcher? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like that was the title of the final episode of season 1. And I'm like, man, fuck you. I'm not watching that shit. And
that episode's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Oh boy. Oh, I got my timber back.
I mean, listen, don't take my word for it. Like, I promise you, like, dude,
nobody's ever mentioned it to me at all. So
hold on, I'm on the family tab. Hold on. Oh, here it is.
I definitely. I mentioned it when we talked about season 1.
Free. Right. You're the only one. Like everybody that's seen it, nobody that's seen this be like, oh man, you gotta see this shit.
That may be how I explained it to my wife to get her, because she's getting tired of Marvel. Like, all those classic movies you like with themes.
But maybe that's what they gotta do. And this is I'm coming into my climax here. This has all been building action. Watching this original character with this original story, the Mohawk with that they speak Simlish,
it's not Simlish.
What is it? They don't sound like Mohawk to me.
I think it actually is the actual language.
Yeah, but it ain't. Look, the Mohawk sounds more like Klingon. It's a lot rougher. The R's aren't like that, and the W's aren't like that.
Are you saying that
there was soft pronunciations?
Right?
Huh? No, the pronunciations were soft. Like, I don't know. It's like when you say Roberto instead of Roberto. Like that's how it sounded to me. From the little bit of Mohawk that I can recognize. Like that's how I defended it to Emily, and Emily's like, no, this sounds like Simlish to me. It didn't come off like Mohawk. So whatever. We could be wrong. We have no authority here, but this episode, I'm like, okay, they're creating. This is where superhero movies have to be now. Like, this is where MCU has to. They got to get people to buy into new shit. They got to create the new shit here, and that's the dark future we're gonna live in anymore. This is the death of the comic book. You witnessed it in the Kahori episode. So from here on, it's because like they have no reason to create people in comic books anymore. Nobody reads comics. Like the biggest comic shops here closed down because nobody's buying fucking comics. So the next step, they're gonna start creating characters in the mass media.
But they've already been creating characters in mass media.
But not like your Coulsons and your not real like heroes. Like who?
What? why is Coulson not a real hero?
Look,
he's a suit.
He's a suit. Like he's not
He's
a
an
superhero.
agent.
Yeah, but he's not a superhero. Like he's not. Nobody wants to watch the Agent Coulson show.
We watched it. It was called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I watched every episode of that.
If it was his show, it'd be called Coulson. It'd be called Coulson. It wouldn't be called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is replaceable by the title. It could be any Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like literally, it could be an anthology
If you're
of
trying to
S.H.I.E.L.D.
convince me that, if you're trying to convince me that Agent Coulson isn't the star of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know what to tell you, man. I like listen. You can
I'm
live in that
not
reality
trying to
if you
convince
want
you
to.
shit. I'm telling you, he's not a superhero. Like
You can explain that like this. Roseanne had her own show called Roseanne, irreplaceable. Once they made it the Connors, replaced.
Yeah, but they changed the name. They never changed the name of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, they didn't have
It was
to.
always Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He could have left, and they still could have kept going with.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he could have, but that's not what the show was. The show was
Instead they just ended the show. It's not worth it. It's like everybody here in silhouette is unrecognizable. It's not point. There's no marketing here.
Okay, whatever. All I'm saying to you is this: is like creating one character.
No, superheroes. Creating superheroes. Creating superheroes.
Oh, it's because she has powers is the issue.
Oh, they're gonna want to do something with her. Like that's the next. This is where you saw it first. This would be like her landmark first appearance that people would look for in the backs. If it was in the comic, this would be the one they look for when the movie comes out. Now it's not that. Now, when they see the movie, the people that didn't watch the show, it's like, oh, I gotta go watch that episode. You know, and that's the death of the comic book. That's the death of the collector. That's the death of, you know, this is the start of the death of comic books as a medium.
Yeah. I don't agree with that. Like, if
don't agree,
dying,
you could be wrong. You'll be crying with your
Corey.
You'll be crying with your.
It's like, listen, it's like, you know, cats just aren't reading.
Right. Hey, again, but it's still that's what the fuck do you need for comics? Is cats reading, and people too.
I don't know. The stories suck.
You said she sucks?
The stories, not. I mean, comic book stories in general. That's why people aren't reading them.
Wait, comic book stories in general suck, and that's why people aren't reading them?
Yeah.
The big two ones.
Not
I got a good comic book story right here for you, right here, that I wanted to talk about, but we're not gonna have time.
I think you're like I think that there's still some pretty amazing stories happening. Obviously, I agree with you. I know you're not saying all of them, but yeah, you got to start reading different stuff.
There's some good ones, but not enough to prop up the industry. Like even I saw an interview with Todd McFarlane, and he was saying that his book came out and did amazing, but it's not going to save the industry. So you have good stories out there, but not enough to keep the industry afloat.
It's dying. Like the Kahori is like the story itself was even like bland. You know, super, you know, generic. Like, you don't know what her power set is. You don't know what comes from the Sky People thing. You know, they want to tie it into the Tesseract. So technically, she's quantum entangled with the Marvels somehow. Like, it, you know, like
she's native Captain Marvel.
Well, I thought from reading the thing, I thought she was gonna be native Thor because of it. And it didn't even come out like that. Like it's like that's mad uninteresting. Like if you give me something like Thor, but with like a Mohawk mythology aspect to it, that's still like analogous to like the Norse stuff, and it's like a what if, you know, the hammer was instead of Norway, it was in like Mohawk country or Mohawk territory. It's like, fuck, this would be the shit for me. I would love this. And it wasn't that. It was just this, everybody's a speedster, everybody has light, and everybody has, like, it's super generic. And now it's like, what happens with it then? You know? So that, to me, like, this is like, if this is the death of the comic book superhero being created now. Like, this is what's going to be. And it's like, this is what we got to hope for. Like, it just depends on what story. I follow a lot of native organizations on social media, and they're happy as fuck about it. But one thing they don't do is read some fucking comics. Like, you're gonna create a superhero, you got to do. There's certain things. Just like, to me, this was just another way for Disney to homogenize another culture. They just ran out of culture to homogenize. So it's like they're doing Mohawk culture.
I get what you're saying, and without seeing this episode, I can say I don't think it'll kill the industry because it sounds like nobody's gonna see this anyway because it sucked.
Well,
I don't think he's saying it's gonna. I don't think he's saying it's gonna kill the industry. I think
the idea of making somebody in TV instead of.
I think he's saying it's a symptom of a dying industry.
Okay, yeah.
Like, Marvel itself is seeing that there's no point in creating somebody new in the comics. We'll just create it in the media holdings we have.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I will say this.
That's why I'm telling you. Like, I'm telling you because you don't know.
Like, I mean, Lawrence, have you heard? Has anybody want to talk to you about Kahori?
I know I haven't talked to anybody.
There's already a lot of fan art. If you follow like Native Nation and all these groups on like Facebook, there's fan art. Like, there's actual art from the person that helped design it, like an actual Mohawk person.
Yeah,
and you could hear the drums, the war drums.
The character. I think the character has legs, and I think you're right. Like, I think the character is going to show up.
Yeah, she's got two
in the MCU somewhere else, huh?
She's got 2 legs, and she knows how to use them.
But and like, her powers come from the Tesseract, which is, of course, like, it's the Space Stone. So her powers are space powers. Like, she can teleport and move and stuff.
And stop bullets.
Like,
and
space, anything that deals with space, she can control it.
Right. Well,
you remember how?
Well, like Captain Marvel, like she's like Captain Marvel. She's a native Captain Marvel.
No, but the
Captain Marvel's powers come from the Tesseract too.
Do her powers come from the Tesseract too?
Yeah, that's what the problem.
I don't remember.
That's what the movie. That's what's so wrong with the movie.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like, I just didn't remember which gem they chose to use. I didn't remember.
It was the Tesseract.
So.
They use it in one of the What If episodes.
I'm not
that experimental.
I didn't remember.
That experimental jet was powered by the Tesseract.
Okay. So,
like, why would they put it in a jet
instead
of just teleporting? I don't get.
Because she's a Kree. You know how they are.
Well, but they didn't know it was a gem then, right?
Marvel didn't know it was a gem.
Yeah, Marvel doesn't know it's a gem. It's a stone.
That's true too. True too. But anyway, no, I mean, I my experience of the episode, like, I actually really liked it, and I thought it was really
big surprise.
But I don't I'm just like, I don't quite understand what it was. Like, you said the story was generic, and don't get me wrong, it definitely leans into some tropes, no question. But what made it generic, like, to you?
Well, no, look, I guess they did, like, the whole colonizing thing, but they didn't want white people colonizing, so they used the swarthy Spaniards, which so they made dark.
That's the history, right? Or does that not count?
Spaniards had a big influence in colonization.
Say that again, though.
I feel like the Spaniards had a lot to do with colonization. Like, they decided 100%. Like they conquistadored all over.
Yeah, I get it.
Natives.
But, it was an easy way to not use white people as a villain.
Spaniards are white too. I don't know why people keep.
No, I mean, they're more Moorish. They're more Moorish and Lebanese. Like they're.
No, I haven't seen the Kahori episode either. I haven't gotten there. I think it's the next one, actually.
Well, the way they draw them, they don't look like white people. Yeah. They look like Latinos coming. Like, they look like, if they had baggy pants, they'd be homies coming after your hood.
So, because I know that for me, it's like, I'm like, no, that's cool. Like, they took the history and the search for the Fountain of Youth and interlaced a superhero story into it. Like, and I don't know. Like, here's the thing. What I will say is this: is I do feel like I remember watching the first episode, the one with Nebula, and initially I had the same feeling that you had, where I was kind of like, I don't know, and I'm just like, I knew that it was a Blade Runner reference or whatnot, but at the same time, like, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of the original Blade Runner either, but I do like Noir stories, and which Blade Runner always leans into or whatever. And this, I think, was good as a condensed version. The second half of it, I enjoyed a lot more than the initial thing. And a part of it too was because I'm like, I agree. Like, it was just saying this. I had the same feelings you did, where it's like, this is the part of the MCU that I'm not that big of a fan of. Now we're leaning into these cop novas, which I'm not a fan of either. And it's like, and they're even more like, they feel even less spectacular in this than they do in like the actual MCU. But then halfway through, you kind of start getting
If
into.
this was a DC thing, it would be like Deadshot dealing with the Green Lantern Corps, and that would look cooler. That'd be cooler.
That would definitely be cooler.
So if they did the Nova Corps right, you would have that,
Right. But when you get halfway through and it starts getting more into like the political intrigue of things, it got more interesting to me. And by the end, I was like, you know what, that was all right. Like I couldn't knock it. And then I kind of felt the same way too. Again, with initially I was like, oh, Peter Quill now, right? But again, like halfway through, when I was like, oh, they're doing like a proto Avengers kind of deal, where it's like almost like 1950s Avengers or whatever, which I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool too, because it's like, and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. But what I will say is this: is I feel like I watched the episodes as they released every day, and I really enjoyed that, just because I'm like, it's like enough time for me to be like, okay, like I don't need to. All I got to do is just like commit to the one episode, and then I can wait for the next one. But I don't have to wait forever. I don't have to wait like a week, right? And I'm like, that's cool.
How long are these episodes?
They range, I want to say, from like
about half hour.
They're not that long, are they? Like, I feel like they're like somewhere between
No,
like
they're longer than
30
some
and
of the live
45
action
minutes, right?
shows. They're long, like they were longer than some of those Secret Invasion episodes.
The time on the episodes is around like 29-30 minutes, but you got like 5 minutes of credits and all that nonsense.
So nothing
But
longer.
some of them are longer though, right?
I thought they were all about the same length.
No, they get longer as they go by a few minutes, but it's here's what I can tell you: like watching Secret Invasion, it's like they didn't feel as long as those, and those were like 15 minutes.
But what I will say is this: is that I do feel like the episodes, like the season, is greater than the sum of its parts.
Oh, good.
Like watching them individually, initially, I was like, which, I mean, and I guess you didn't finish season one, but season one is like that too. But I think season two does the same thing in a different way. Season one is more the MCU formula, where it's like, they had the individual episodes and then they kind of brought them together in like the last couple. So it's almost like, like how they did with Avengers, like the phase. This is not that, but it's just like the stories kind of build on one another a little bit in a way that, you don't necessarily realize until you get into the later episodes. And so
from what I've seen, I don't care what they build into.
And that's fair, but I'll say it like this: much like how you dismissed the final episodes or last couple episodes of the first season, I think if you did watch them, you will end up liking it. But if you're not doing it, you're not doing it, and that's what happens. So
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't care about this Guardians of the Galaxy shit. So if it's gonna add to more of that shit, I'm definitely I don't want to see more.
Well, but
you know?
it's not like there was a couple Guardians of the Galaxy characters, but it's
here's
not
the thing.
really
Here's
about
what you gotta
Guardians.
look when you show me a what if and you do something cool. Now I'm like, you know what? Like, why didn't they do this in the fucking movie? Like, I just get more aggravated. And it's like, I don't need this shit.
Listen, I think you just gonna be aggravated either way. You aggravated when they don't do the cool stuff. You aggravated when they do the cool stuff.
No, they do the cool stuff in the movie. I'll be good. I just, I don't want to watch an ancillary show to see like what they could have done that was good.
Okay. Like they did a joint.
Mo doesn't want DLC to see the cool shit.
No, I want the game. Like the Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite shit. Like I love that. I love Breath of the Wild. Just give me another game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that too. I don't need DLC.
It is.
I'll pay for a full second game.
Like episode 7 is what if Hela found the 10 rings?
Oh, great.
And
they put on her horns. Well, bracelets, right? They're bracelets. They're not rings, they're bracelets.
I mean, I don't know if I would call them bracelets, but
like what if they I want to see what if they were actually rings, like in the comics.
What if...
Yeah, that's what I want to see. You want me to watch episode 7?
But
call it that.
But that joint I thought was really good. And it's like a completely different kind of take for MCU Hela, obviously.
Oh, good.
But yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad your 2024
okay.
is being good, Larry.
You glad my 2024 what?
It's going good.
Look,
look,
I'm okay so far. Technically, that was all 2023 stuff. So who knows what 2024 is going to end up like. We'll see. Like, honestly, I mean, I think we can. None of us can say 2023 was a great year for comic book media.
Anything,
like
yeah.
For comic book anything, right? Like,
oh yeah, well, I mean anything, comic book anything, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it's like obviously as far as comic book media goes, like 2023 is definitely a slump year, no question on that. Like, there were some highlights, no question, but
there's also
like as a whole
circumstances too. Like we had the fucking what is it? Extenuating circumstance, like the strikes and shit like that. So
and still like the pandemic, like this is
yeah, I guess the pandemic that too, and it's like I get it, and then Loki, that ruins everything too. Yeah.
Why does Loki ruin everything?
Loki was garbage.
That
was garbage. I watched the other episodes, Larry, and surprise, they're still in that same room trying to fix that fucking loom. Like, I called it right. Like, the shit deals with it all reports. It's the same shit over and over, repeating the same fucking. Hey, get the fuck out of here, Madam Loki. Turn him into Madam Web. Fuck you. Fucking Loki.
Man.
Can he just? I just want him. Can he just turn into a snake and bite Thor? Like, I just want him to be a supervillain. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
I like your.
This is what I got to look forward to in this next phase. Now that they got rid of Kang because he slapped some bitch.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Wow.
All right.
That's why I'm reading Basic Instinct in comic book form.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I saw that at the shop. Is that any good? It's not the movie, is it?
Well, it's a retelling of the movie. But the art, the cover art is beautiful. Like, you can't see it here too much, but it's like the sultry, sexy chick with a snake around her.
Do they have
like Blade Runner? I know Larry doesn't like Blade Runner. He said he hates Blade Runner, but he loves the Blade Runner episode of Nebula.
Move it up a little bit so I can see the whole thing. No, yeah, move up, yeah. All right.
He's a, ah.
Money shot. That's how you sell it.
So that's gonna be, I'm gonna review this in one of our videos. So subscribe, like, hit the bell. And that's gonna be one of our off.
Can you review the Robin issue too?
Oh yeah. Send me the link, or
I'll find it for you. No worries. Yeah. I got you. I'll throw it in Discord.
Yeah.
Or Twitter, one of them.
Yeah, and then I have a bunch of stuff from Distillery because that drama happened. I don't know if you guys listened last week. Well, Larry, you weren't here that week where I was yelling at Distillery on the air. So,
right.
I bought some comics and they came. Every time I try to buy these comics, they're like, "Oh, just go to you want to buy it? Click here," and then they send me the comic shop locator. And I'm like, "I want to buy them from you. Like, you're paying for the Facebook ad, you're paying for the Meta ad. Like, I want to buy them from you. I want to use Apple Pay to pay it, and you just send it to my fucking house or business, wherever I happen to be that day." I go to Eventually, I was able to do it, and they used some comic shop to fulfill the order. And it came with the corners crushed.
Oh.
2 of the 3 comics. Now, the only comics they sold to me, these are $8 books. They're bigger prestige style books. But the only comics they would sell to me from their own website that I had to get from another comic shop were the covers that cost $20 a piece. Jeez. And then if you want, Distillery is a good company with great creative minds that are working there. It could be almost like the Second Image if they did the shit right.
They got their shit together.
Right. So they did a thing called Devil's Cut, which is a horror anthology with all their creative teams that are part of them doing one book. So all of them in one book. And some of them connect because they're doing horror books. So there's some of them connect to the books that are going to be coming out in the next year or so. That one I bought, and the only cover they would sell me is the $100 cover.
What?
So I paid $140 for 3 comic books, and they come dented.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do an Oz's package segment, trying to do it, but I'm like, I'm not. You know what? I don't want to. I believe in this company. I don't believe in their business. I might have to take over there. They're not. When it comes to sales, like let me handle the sales. All right.
Like they got bad biscuits, man. They're selling you bad biscuits.
No, they got good biscuits, but they're
good
marketing
biscuits, bad boxes.
Yeah, like they're marketing it like shit. Like more people sell shit as biscuits than you can sell more shit as biscuits than you can sell biscuits as shit. So
yeah.
So I didn't want to do the YouTube video with that. That's where we were last week, and I'm emailing them and everything, and they hadn't come back to me. That's where I started yelling on the air. A week later, the day after I yelled on the air, I emailed them like, "Hey, just touching base. Do you need me to send these back? I'll pay for them to go back. Like, I don't mind. Just let me know what we need to do so I can get the replacement or what's gonna happen. Like, are you gonna give my money back? Like, what's the deal?" And they sent my new comics to somebody else.
What?
Like, they put the wrong shipping ticket. So they were fulfilling somebody else's shit comics that they fucked up instead of not sending me mine. Like, it's not like they swapped and all gave me theirs. They just sent mine to them, and it's like, okay, done. And then when I hit them up, they're like, "Oh shit, thanks for reading." They were able to catch those before they went out. But what they ended up doing was they actually doubled my order. So I got I got 2 of the $100 comic covers. So it means it's even more collectible because I own 2 of them. There's less So yeah, so in this new year of monetizing in Fantastic Forum, be wary for the link. You'll be able to buy your own signed copy of that Devil's Cut cover.
Wait, are you signing it?
I can sign it if you want, yeah. Along with the people. I'm gonna try to get everybody that works on it to sign it since I got a free one. So it's gonna take a while with all these years of conventions and shit. So yeah, so luckily it ended up it worked out that way. But yeah, just a little update from last year.
Wow.
Do shit.
Man.
So let's finish up and rate What If, and then we can get out of here. So heck.
I'm gonna give it a 2 from the way you guys explained all of it. I'm gonna give it a 2.
No, but that's not a reflection of our review. Our review is like a 5, right? But...
No, yeah, your review, the collective review from you guys was a 5.
Okay, but
the
your perception
the way you explain the show sounds like a 2.
Even with Larry's like blowjob segment.
2.5.
Keep in mind, I'm the only person here that's actually seen all the episodes.
That's true.
Anyway, I know.
A turd's a turd, whether it's an inch out of the asshole or all the way out.
Like, it turned into a gold bar in the middle. Like, no, who knew? What would you rate What If season 2?
I think I'm halfway through, and I'm gonna say 4. But I think it helped that I knew the episodes were themed, and they're themed based on movies that I love.
Yeah. There you go. Moses Magnum, what would you rate What If season 2?
They lost a point because I found out they were themed. So it's a 2 for me so far. The coherent story, like, I like that character. I like the events, even though it's a stupid way. Like, I'd rather have her get bit by a radioactive coyote or step on a radioactive twig than what I saw.
Radioactive coyote and the friggin' okay.
Hey, Moonstone, like she could be like the werewolf by night, but like coyote by night, like it could be,
coyote by night.
Make it something more like, I know with the Sky People in the Mohawk, like they kind of made it to with connected to the Asgardians and shit. So it's like, it's, to me, that's homogenized, that's diminishing the culture, So that's where I don't like it. So if it would have been something more in traditional, like if she just had the powers of the protector spirits, like they chose her, that'd be, but again, that would be something that would work in comics better than the TV show, like, because you can't have those colors when it's just the lake witch that gave me these powers with this amulet. Yeah. So you need the space stone colors, because stones and space and infinity. So yeah, it's a 2.5. Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2. Like, it's a 2. Like, the theme thing, like, that ruins it for me more.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I liked it. It was pretty great.
Shit.
So yeah, it's fun. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
All right.
If you didn't like it, you wouldn't say it was bad. You just say it's interesting.
No, man. Look, you know me, especially this year. It's like this is the year where I had to.
If it was DC, you'd be like, I didn't like it. But if like MCU would have put out that Aquaman, you'd be like, it's interesting.
Listen, this was the year I had to mess around and start giving these Marvel movies bad reviews, man. I messed around and like between Ant-Man and Guardians 3, not just like, it was not a fun time. Anyway, look, man, now you made me sad, Mo.
That's what I do.
That's what you do. It's like, Happy New Year, son of a bitch. Happy New Year. No. All right.
You're stuck.
It's time to get. Yeah, look. At this point, like you about to get tenure soon too. you and Oz is like, y'all been around long enough, just about. I'm like, damn. That way, I'll just be stuck all the way with all 3 of you knuckleheads. All right.
Man, I'm still. Eventually, I'm gonna read Death Metal. Eventually, I'm gonna get there.
No, you're not.
I'm halfway. I almost have half of the story, and then I can start reading when I get the whole thing.
Okay, got it. Oscar, final thoughts.
There's a video out there I put out coming out. I don't remember if we were on the air when I mentioned it or not. Because I've had a lot of this stuff.
Is that your homebrew?
Yes.
Your kimchi juice?
I'm not mad at that.
It's only 14.5%, but I've been like drinking it nonstop.
Do you have a actual something to test it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I check it before it ferments and after it ferments, and I do some math, and I can figure out the percentage.
Nice.
That's how I know my cranberry is only 6%. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a scientist now.
Moses Magnum. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
No, you're a farmer.
Yeah, I'm a horticulturist. Yeah, hey, same as always. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, like everything, comment on everything. Like, it's all gonna help us get where we're at. Like, doing what we love, talking about comics, talking shit to you every week. And we're still gonna do it whether it's for money or not. So, might as well help us get a little money for it.
Tell your friends. Give them the link to Twitch.
Yeah, just share it. Just say, hey, this guy thinks you're a fucking asshole. And then just a link to an episode.
Hey, this guy hates what you like.
Yeah, like if we review something good, it's like, oh man, watch this circle jerk. These guys are beating off to Wonder Woman, and it's just like a good positive review. Like, that's our Pornhub.
There it is.
Yeah, but we'll be here all year long, hopefully, and bringing you the same thing we've been doing.
There it is. Well said. So, for the Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Please go ahead and hit us up. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want us to talk more about. And, we'll consider it. We'll do it. So hit us up. We are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.